IndusTower is a pretty prominent player in the telecom industry. And what we'll be doing today is we'll be reviewing the stock and trying to predict where the stock moves next. On the monthly chart, if we go and take a look, the chart is pretty clean and tells a very clean story. The stock rallied hard through 2023 and 24, hit a bit of a resistance in 2025, bounced up and down, and eventually hit a high of around 475 to 481 in 2026 and has been on the move downwards ever since. Now, this move upwards is not really random. It's actually a strong impulsive phase that is backed by the 5G narrative. But here's an interesting thing to notice. As price has pushed higher, the volume has started declining, right? And that divergence is critical because it tells you that institutions are distributing into strength and not accumulating. Now the price is at 412.25. This is sitting right above a pretty major support zone. The last few times that price has hit the support zone, it has gone right back up. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how it reacts with this zone. Now, let's move down to the weekly chart to get a better understanding. If you take a look right at 2026, just in February, the peak, that was the clear rejection from 475, followed by a breakdown below 440. That was your break of structure. Since then, the trend has been bearish. Lower highs, weak bounces, and consistent selling pressure. This will be more evident in the daily structure, right? So let's go down and take a look at that. Again, back to the Feb peak, we can see there's been a clear downtrend, right? Now, what we'd be looking for in order to understand where we would want to enter this trade is over here. Taking a look at this 428 to 438 range, this has essentially become a kind of a key resistance for us because it creates bearish order block. At the same time, if the price somehow manages to go right back up, retest that same zone and then push right back up, then in that case, I would be looking to enter as a high for a high long setup. Now let's bring in the fundamentals as well. Yearly, the profit has been increasing, but if we go down to quarterly, we can see that from December 2024 to December 2025, there's been a pretty major drop down in net profits. The reason for this is simple. Previous year had inflated profits due to one-time reversals linked to Vodafone Idea. So the drop that you're seeing right now is largely a base effect, not a collapse in the story. And the biggest risk, that is Vodafone Idea, is actually stabilizing. Government intervention has reduced the pressure, payments are being restructured, and that alone changes the risk profile of the company. On the operating side, quarter on quarter, revenue has been steadily growing, right? Then comes in the long-term driver of 5G. Data consumption is rising aggressively, and 5G requires far denser infrastructure than 4G. If you go down to cash flow, we can see that their investing cash flow outflow has been increasing a lot, and this is because 5G requires tower additions and co-locations. All of these are increasing, right? And this has led to high margin growth, which is extremely important for the company. If you actually go down and take a look at the operating margin, it's actually at 68.55, which is amazing for this industry, as well as the gross profit, which has been increasing relatively. Now, beyond India, the company is also starting to expand into Africa and Middle East. Early stage, but a real long-term opportunity. Looking at the peers such as HFCL, TejasNet, the company actually has a good PE ratio and is not overvalued. The return on equity is actually extremely strong compared to every single company in this sector over here. So that makes it a very valuable company in itself. The stock is trading at roughly 11 to 12x earnings, which is low for a business of this quality. But this discount exists because of past uncertainty, and that uncertainty is starting to clear. Now, let's look at the trade setup that I would be following. Firstly, coming back to this 428 to 438 range, I'd wait for that to be retested, right? Broken through and retested. So I'd try to enter around 400. I'd create first a buy order at around 435, quantity of say 100 and 435 again, create a GTT. That's great. Now, what I would do for my stop loss and my trigger and my target, I'd go to sell, make it in one cancels the other, go to the stop loss. So I put it at 435. Let's say I'm looking for my thing to go down to perhaps 400. So 400 would be my stop loss. Again 100 over here, and once again over here 400. That's great. Now my trigger price is going to actually be somewhere around 35, 105 more than my um, GTT buy order, because I'm looking at a 1:3 ratio here, 1:3 ratio. So that would be around um, 540, 540. That should be right. 540 again here, here, and here, and 100. Great. And that would be how I would trade IndusTower.